So I've been getting some comments from time to time suggesting that I would secretly like to become Amish. Now, I just spent a week with Amish friends in Pennsylvania. There are a lot of great things, a lot of things I love and appreciate, but as far as becoming Amish, I haven't really had those sorts of thoughts since a brief period in 2004. I thought about it a little bit and I came up with 3 reasons why I would never or could never join the Amish. Now, the first one might be a little surprising for someone with a YouTube channel, but when you're in an Amish community, there's usually a lot of people around. And I enjoy people, I enjoy interacting with people, but I often find that I hit a limit and I just shut down. And then after that, any kind of interaction is really draining. I kind of need to go in my cave. And if you spend time in Amish culture, you know that that's a little bit harder to come by. And just given that they have big families, a lot of social events, a lot of activities done together, which is a great thing about the culture. But on the other hand, for me, it can get a little bit tiring. Then again, maybe that's what long buggy rides are for. I've never been Amish. I've lived with Amish friends for the longest was about 2 months. So, I have to only speak from what I've experienced and what I've seen and kind of knowing myself. So I'm a bit of an introvert that way. So I think that part would be difficult for me. Next thing is, I don't love technology, but I do realize how dependent I am on it in certain ways, or maybe how much I appreciate certain things that technology provides. Biggest thing is the car, I think, just having the freedom to drive, to travel. Also, obviously, electronic communication. What I'm doing right now would be quite difficult to do if I were Amish. Although with the computer and the internet, there is more gray area there and there's more potential that if I were in a more progressive church district, I would probably be able to have access in some way to the internet, whether that's through my own personal phone or having access to, internet through my work. I have Amish friends who have email and are able to go online. I also think not being able to fly would be hard because I travel overseas some. I have my family is from Poland originally, so that would be a lot harder to do unless I was in a New Order Amish church, which permits flying. Again, I don't love technology. In fact, I think technology can and tries to go a little too far in today's world, especially if we allow it to. But there are certain things that would be quite hard to live without, I have to admit. So the third thing, and how to put this, it wouldn't be the easiest for me to find a way to make a living as an Amish person were I to join the Amish. I don't think I'd make a good farmer. I know I wouldn't make a good woodworker. Manufacturing, those sorts of things. I really respect those trades, but I don't think I have the skill sets. One of my Amish friends in Lancaster County made the comment a couple days ago that it was something like 50, 60 years ago in Lancaster County, if you were Amish, pretty much everyone was a farmer, whether you were actually a farmer or not. Something like that. In other words, not all Amish were good at farming necessarily. Not all Amish were true farmers. Some farms were more successful than others, certainly. Along those lines, if we look at the Amish today, the way that occupations have changed, especially with the growth in Amish businesses, there are actually oddball Amish careers, or maybe I should just say atypical Amish occupations. Maybe I would be able to find something I was okay at. I know Amish who own like printing and publishing companies. I just spoke with an Amish person this past week who is a paramedic. There are Amish accountants, or say running a retail store, which is probably a lot more common than those I just mentioned. So there might be ways for me to make a living if I did one of those things. Of course, all this assumes they would even want to have me if I were to want to join the Amish. And I'm not talking about religion or theology aspects of the Amish here, but rather lifestyle and cultural barriers that would prevent me from becoming Amish successfully. But of course, it's been about 18 years now that I've been spending time with and studying and writing about the Amish. So I think if I were going to join the Amish, it probably would have happened by now. So I can say pretty confidently that's not going to happen. So that's all to say, I think I'm quite content being English. But it is abusing to see those comments. Sometimes we have armchair psychologists. It doesn't bother me that someone thinks that. It's just kind of funny. So thanks for watching. Check out the companion video to this, 3 reasons the Amish don't want you to join them. Hit the like button if you like this, and I'll talk to you next time.